Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here with the Tyrian Cup. No commentary changes so far. We're just waiting for the other team to arrive. Currently, we're looking at a very, very interesting comp from Laserhawks with Double Vexer, Augurer, and Curse.
Of course, there are two
Interesting.
Laserhawks teams, so I can't remember which one this is. I think this is the
No love for
Photon
the Tristan.
Pheasants. Is this the Photon Pheasants?
Tristan has
This
a
is the
Quake
Quantum
skin,
Kestrels. This is the other Laserhawks team.
Oh my god.
Quantum Kestrels.
They all have Quake skins. Oh my gosh, this team makes me so happy.
I
really
think
think
we have
it is
already won the
important.
commentators over on this comp, so I think we might be getting an extra award for this team.
It is a very exciting comp. I don't want to say just yet because we don't have the other team in local yet, so I don't want to give the game away, just in case they are listening.
Yeah, there are obviously tons of different things you can do with a Curse. One of its huge, benefits is the fact that you can fit it shield, you can fit it armor, you can fit it with all sorts of different things. You can fit it for drone DPS, you can fit it with some missiles even. And obviously you have those mids for huge amounts of E-War, tracking disruptors, missile disruptors. So powerful. But of course that does come at a cost to the rest of their comp, forcing them to use 2 T1 cruisers, a T1 frigate, and a T1 Logi to help to, to take them to victory.
The other team is now
Make
landing.
Amar great again, landing now, and from what I'm seeing so far, they are going for their All-Amar system once again. So perhaps that curse could be really strong against this particular comp.
Right, those lasers take a lot of cap, and it wouldn't be far-fetched to see him just switch newts from player to player and just keep them from being able to apply good DPS.
They both come in very, very close as well. The the Malas and Omens and Harbinger coming in at 10 kilometers. So right on top of them. There's a little bit of room so that they can abuse their better, the need to have tracking from the turret platforms. But those drones are going to be on them so quickly. There's no room for them to kite away from the drones. And obviously, this is going to be a very, very messy brawl here.
Yeah, so if you have to put your money on one of these teams, Jin, who are you going to go for?
Oh, I'm going to put my money actually on the Make 'em Our Great Again team.
I kind of want to put it on the Laserhawks and these Quantum Kestrels. If it comes down to piloting skill, and this Augur is able to keep them alive for long enough, I think that Curse and Vexer team could work really well.
My problem is that I do not think that Augurer is going to be able to stay alive for very, very long against this comp.
Right.
They will be able to project out to it, and unless the Laserhawks team kites away properly, they're going to be in a lot of trouble, as that Augurer will be melted by the projection of this comp.
We did see Vexers yesterday with an Executor get melted by a high DPS comp, even through reps, so we could see again, if they make a Margaret team, go just straight to punch through those Vexers without even bothering to consider that Augurer. And I think if I had to pick, well, I think I have to go with the Make Amar Great again, just simply because it's Amar. And we're off.
And we're off.
The links are up.
And instantly we see drones dropped here.
Instantly damage
onto
that
curse.
On the curse.
Oh, immediately onto that curse.
And they are going after the Augur as well, it looks like.
To newt off the Harbinger's trying to newt off those Harbinger's boosts. That's not as effective as it used to be. And it looks like the TT resists. If that curse are going to keep it allow it to have way more EHP under reps than you'd expect. So
yeah, for sure. And it looks like they're swapping to that Vexer now as well, taking a bunch of damage to his shield and starting to go into armor. The amount of damage going onto him, though, maybe not so much as we could have expected from that full Amar comp, meaning that Augur, he probably will be able to rep through it. Maybe what they're doing here is trying to just split that Augur's attention, bit of damage in the Curse, bit of damage in the Vexer, and a bit of damage on that Tristan as well. Force that Augur to burn as much cap as he can, trying to fuggle his teammates and keep them all alive at the same time.
So little damage being applied to that Augurer. You've got 2 Vexers and a Curse. How is he not simply melting away? He must be doing something right.
And now you see medium drones heading after this Augurer, who's not moving very fast, but he's getting damage applied to him now.
Oh, he's burning away to try and prevent those hammerheads from tracking him perfectly, and it's working well. But he is
But
getting
now the
muted.
my
Mauler
gosh,
is
this
coming
Mauler.
after him. He's making a break for the Augur, and he
Oh,
is
he
getting hit
is?
by
The Augur's
drones.
not. Yeah, the Augur is not even using prop mod. It doesn't look
The
like. And I find
Harbinger
it.
as well, trying to push off this Org.
But now the Mauler getting EC drones swarming him, so it's a fight between not only the ECM on what's tackling the Augur, the damage drones on the Augur, but still the fight brawl going on at 0.
Yeah, that
really
Omen
interesting.
for Mega Margaret again, he is dropping into structure now. So far, it has been pretty even, but with that Omen going down, I think we're going to start to see this match slowly start to swing.
Oh,
So,
but as you
once-
say that, the Augur are taking damage now. It looks like he's either tackled or they've got on top of him and he's taking damage. The real question is, can they track him well enough to take him to the grave?
Well, I think it's interesting because this Vexor plus the Curse, these Vexors don't have any guns on them. So obviously they either have like drone high slots, so drone damage high slots, or they're going to have newts. And flying a Vexor, newts are actually pretty good. So it seems since they knew the Make a Margrade Again team was going to be using lasers, they knew obviously you just use newts for them. So
I
yeah,
can confirm that they do have newts, and the Omen
Yes.
of William has been neuted out by Lieutenant Tau in the Vexor. He has got full newts on him.
So you just put a Vexor to one of these Maulers or Omens, and then you leave the Curse to handle the Harby. Because now, I mean, obviously they have enough newts to get out at least 3 of those ships, and then it doesn't matter how much damage the Augur is taking; it should be able to survive at least a little bit.
And obviously this is super effective against the Lemurian team, as energy weapons need capacitor to function, and a
Yep.
lot of it.
This is a
And what's-
great example of just theory crafting and coming up with a comp to beat the meta that you think that your opponents are going to bring.
That said, the Augur is slowly being whittled away. The real
He's
question...
repping slowly, but this Harbinger is not bringing him down quickly. And if this Omen drops with the Augur, is that trade gonna be enough?
If they
No.
trade 2 Omens for an Augur, I think that's not good. I think that they are going to be failing here. Can they even break his self-reps? God.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think that Omen, before he died there, was doing very much at all to help Make Him Great Again, because he was neuted out. The Omen, of course, tiny capacitor reservoir for a Tech 1 cruiser, very easy to neut out, and once he is neuted out, he is just completely useless. He is just a pile of EHP to chew through. Perhaps
So-
a better move for the Lazehawk team would be to neut out that Omen and just apply DPS to other ships and just leave him there.
But
So
now
can
it
I
looks
just
like
say-
both Maulers are taking damage, and this Augur is still not down.
So the Augur is actually orbiting this Harbinger, and the only damage it seems to be taking is actually from the drones that are swarming him.
Oh, and a huge
Now
rep
it's-
there. It looks like he repped. He managed to. Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh,
I think he managed to reload his Ansil, but one good volley from that Harbinger. I think that was just a wrecking shot. So, for those of you who don't know, there is a chance, I believe it's 1 in 1,000 chance, that any shot can rep, and that means it does perfect damage regardless of tracking. And that just volleyed straight through the Harbinger. Straight through the Augurer.
So now we have a Mauler in about half armor, another Mauler in 3/4 armor, and a full healthy Harbinger against the Curse, the 2 Vexors, and the Tristan. So is the damage left on the Make Margaret Again team able to power through the neuting pressure from the Quantum Kestrels? And they are killing that Curse. That Curse is in low armor. So if they can trade and kill that Curse before they
It's
lose their
going
own
to
Mauler,
happen.
that is a strong play.
Like I said, I think that curse was completely resist fit. It was there purely as bait for the enemy team, and unfortunately the MR team fell for it. But it doesn't look like it was as effective as it could have been, with the MR team being left with 1 battle cruiser and 1 Tech 1 cruiser versus two Tech 1 cruisers and a Tech 1 frigate. And these Vexors are going to struggle. They might be able to kite away, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, as they are super close to them.
Right, I don't think, unless the cap is low on both the Harbinger and the Mauler, and they're able to keep the newt pressure on both, I don't think they're going to be able to do much.
Well, we know they've been neuting them for the entire fight. The question is, are these Malas and are these Harbingers injector fit? Because if they are, it's going to be good for them. If they're not, they're going to struggle. We can see the Harbinger burning away from the Mala, which has been caught. It's neuted to hell, and it has 1,000,001 drones orbiting it.
Yeah, if
And-
both of those Vexors are full newt fit, then they should be able to just get on top of a ship each and just apply their newts. And once those 2 ships are completely neuted out, it's just a case of chewing through the EHP while sitting pretty.
And the Tristans managed to scram down the Harbinger now at range, so that's going to be great for them. That's going to keep them in range for the Vexers to burn to him. But I don't know if that Mala is going to go down before the Vexer does here. I'm surprised that the Amar team did not put their light drones on that Tristan. However, they've had a lot of time to do it. But he has been unmolested for most of this fight.
Yeah, I think they are just going for maximum DPS on whatever the primary is, and just trying to burn that Vexer down before they lose that Mauler, because he is starting to bleed structure right now. And with the Newt pressure on top of them, I think the damage has almost dropped off completely on that Vexer.
Yeah, and Newt's being applied to the Harbinger now. The real question is, can that Harbinger finish off the Vexer as well to take it an even match, make it an even trade there?
If this Vexer is able to get safe, then I think the Newt pressure, even if cap injected, this Harbinger might not be able to apply very well.
But he's making the mistake. He's just burning towards him. He's trying to get under his guns, and that's not the correct play. He needs to get range.
Yeah, I don't think.
And there he goes.
And there he pops. Yeah.
So now we have a single Harbinger left, pretty much full health. However, he has been under some significant Newt pressure for a substantial amount of time against that Vexer and that Tristan. So if that Harbinger can keep his guns running, and he is able to slowly whittle down that Vexer, this match isn't over yet.
It does look like, though, he does have EC drones on him. So obviously if he can't lock, gets jammed or whatever, then it's going to be very difficult for him to shoot the enemy. Even though Vexers and Tristans both, their primary DPS is the drones. Just because they lose newts from a jam doesn't mean, they're completely worthless.
It's 2 minutes left at this point. So I don't know if a Vexer and a Tristan could burn him down in 2 minutes. This is going to be very, very close. In my opinion, the Harbinger should stop focusing on that Vexer and start putting his drones on that Tristan and try and take him out. Because any DPS off the field at this point is a bonus to him.
He would win by points then, correct?
Oh, easily.
Yes, the Harbinger would win by points, but interestingly enough, we see EC drones on the Harbinger now. It looks like the Vexer is swapped, or the Tristan has swapped damage drones for EC drones, so it is just some slight damage coming from the Tristan and a couple of light drones looking like they're coming from the Tristan.
So it looks like the Harbinger managed to pop a whole flight of drones there. He was jammed and used there by the looks of it, but those drones are now going after the EC3. They're actually going after the damage drones of the Vexer. So he's trying to take out the Ogres of the Vexer and try and reduce some of that incoming DPS.
Which is a really smart play. He might just be able to kill the drones and skate to victory now.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems with a drone-based setup, is that sometimes you can just lose all your drones, and if that happens, you're gone. And yeah, it does look like he's doing pretty well at it. These Ogre ones taking huge amounts of damage.
Yeah, we're not seeing any lasers firing from that Harbinger, so logic would dictate he has been completely neutered out, and it really is just his drones left as his only means of damage. So using them to defang. And now we are starting to see him firing as well, so he must have regained a little bit of cap, and he is also firing on the drones. So he is choosing to try and survive this fight and win on points here.
We did just see a relaunch of other more damage drones coming out, so the Harbinger is taking some extra damage.
He had previously brought out. Though the Laserhawks team is trying to pull in drones as they're going low and then bring them out to force the Harbinger to relock, which is obviously takes a decent amount of time in that battle cruiser hull because it has such low base scan res. And it looks like the match is nearly over though.
Yeah, and with still half of his armor to chew through from partially defanged Vexer, I really don't think that they're going to be able to do it. There you go. As we say, time. And this match does go to points.
And with that, Megavar great again wins on points.
It seems like the projection of this Amarian comp is just so powerful. They can overcome what is nearly a hard counter here with tons of Newt pressure. We're going to have to see what people think of to go up against this next.
Yeah, I mean, that was I'm pretty sure the Laserhawk team there bringing a comp that they thought was, as you said, a hard counter for that Make Amar Great Again team, fielding pretty much the same comp in every single one of their fights and winning them all so far. So I would say they have done pretty well on their goal to make Amar great again.
We can also confirm that the curse had tracking disruptors fit, which is why we saw so little damage being applied to that Augurer, because he was able to keep the tracking off. And I can't help but think that that was the reason why they wanted to kill him first. But yeah, some potential mistakes made, but it all worked out well in the end for this Amarian team.